think I might be live. So hello. I haven't been live in this group for I'm not sure when actually. So sorry if I haven't been around, but boy, oh boy, have we been going through some tumultuous energy. So on the live today, these are a couple of things. I'm going to keep it as brief as I can. That are happening. So first of all, the main thing I'm going to talk about are all of the new beginnings from today. I do feel that there are 3 new years. This is the second of 3 new years. I love this one. I'll talk about that. I'm going to talk about a tiny little bit about the astrology of this year and why it is so powerful. And then I'm going to talk about how to harness that energy, how to use it in your benefit, what to do, when you want to manifest something this year, and how to be crystal clear of what you want. I'm going to do a little card reading, and I'm also going to give you, in fact, I may drop it into the chat here in a moment, just to make sure, because quite often I don't see anybody on the live chat unless I post something. So I'm going to post a link to get my newest freebie, which I have just finished. I actually started making this video series a few years ago and I left it. I just put it to the side and I was looking at what I might make for people, and this jumped out at me that I had already done, and I watched it again myself and I think, woo, this is a really good freebie. So I'm going to just pop the link into the description box there, and I actually see there's some people on. So lovely to see you. See, I never see anybody on the live until I actually post something. So lovely to see you guys there. Anyway, so the 3 new moons obviously are full. The 3 new years, obviously January 1st is one. Now, I don't know about you, but what I have noticed over the past few years, and especially this year, I noticed it last year a lot as well, but that my energy goes down so much in the winter months. So in the northern hemisphere here, we're something like 51, 52 degrees latitude in Ireland. So we don't get a lot of sun for 4 or 5 months. And I just felt that my energy was very, very low, and I had to go inside and rejuvenate, regenerate, do nothing, stay in bed actually a lot. I was waking naturally. I never set an alarm for the past month, and I was waking naturally between 9 and 9:30. And I did need it, I'm not going to feel guilty about that. It was absolutely beautiful, and it really has kind of given me that energy to move on. Now, a lot of people start the new year with their intentions or with their New Year's resolutions. It never really sat with me, but then I would be kind of a low energy winter person. Now, today, obviously, we've got the new moon in Aquarius, which coincides with the Chinese New Year. And that is, I feel this is a really energizing, excellent new year to start doing something. The Chinese New Year, I think it's the wood snake. Is it the wood snake? Anyway, I'm not going to go into that because I don't know a huge amount about that. But there is that, 12 months ahead of this wood snake energy. But today, I'll give you a little bit about what's happening in astrology, and that is the moon and the sun are together, always in a new moon. This is the time to set your intentions. I think the time was actually, it was lunchtime today, 12:37 GMT. So it's just a couple of hours ago. So we're still in that new moon energy, obviously, and that new moon energy will feel new for the first at least 3.5 days, and then as that month goes on, the energy picks up. But when you set your intentions now, or as soon as you can after now, and pay attention to those intentions. So you set them, and intentions are always about things that you are intending doing, actions you're going to take, new routines maybe that you're going to take on board. That's your intention. And then as you pay attention to it and you do those things, You can also have a wish, but you're moving towards a greater goal. So the new moon is the best time to do that. And if you don't have my new moon, you should have if you're watching this, but I'll post that in the link afterwards, my new moon intention setting. It's just a little ritual, little meditation for setting intentions. So we've got, this is a really happy and a lucky one because the moon and the sun are almost at 10 degrees. They're 9:52 or something like that. And they're forming in exact trine almost to Jupiter. So Jupiter is at 11 degrees and Jupiter is, you know, the planet that expands everything, and it has, you know, it's connected with abundance, it's connected with joy, it's one of the, you know, the benefics, and it really adds a lot of lightness. So when you are focused on something and you're moving forward and you want to do something new, that energy, with a new moon, with a trine, which is a beautiful angle, is really really important. And today also, I took this down, so I have notes everywhere. Venus, Neptune, and the North Node are all in Pisces, and Venus is the other benefic, and that is exalted. It loves being in Pisces, and Neptune is actually the ruler of Pisces. Neptune is there as well, and they're all conjunct at 25.5 degrees, 27, 53 and 28 degrees, the North Node. So the North Node has just moved into Pisces, and it'll be sort of hanging around Pisces at the North Node for the next year and a half. The other thing worth noting as well is that this year ahead, so Pluto, as we know, has moved into Aquarius, and Pluto is all about, you know, Pluto is not afraid of the dark side of life, okay? Pluto wants to dig deep, wants to look and uncover. It loves to uncover truth. And moving into Aquarius, we're going to see, and it has moved in, we're going to see a lot of things that maybe were hidden coming to the surface. So yeah, it's going to be powerful in Aquarius actually, because we're moving into that age of Aquarius as well, and which is very much, Aquarius is, you know, it's a bit of the maverick. It loves to shock and surprise. Aquarius is it rules technology and innovation and new things. So AI might be coming into it is in the limelight. But what Pluto will do in Aquarius is maybe shine the light on negative parts of it, or show that up. You see, I've got a whole list of little, yes. So Aquarius also, of course, rules independence and freedom, and it's sort of assigned as well with our sovereignty, our divinity, us being who we are, and being free to be who we are, do what we want, have what we want from that inner space, from what we really truly are here to do and to be. So there's a beautiful energy with all of that, and I'm not going to go into much more detail with the astrology, except for this is the time to set really big intentions, and for this new year ahead, this new Chinese year ahead, it's a really good time to look at, you know, moving forward, what you want to do in this full year. Where would you like to be next year, this time next year, when we're moving into the next sign, or the next animal sign, the next Chinese New Year? Where would you like to be? What would you like to achieve? And how are you going to do that? So the energy of this year is going to be unexpected surprises. So we've got to expect the unexpected. And if you think, what more? You know, it's been shocks and surprises really for the past 5 years. Well, this is a pivotal year this year, and it's a 5-year, as in 2025. It's like that 5 in there. It's a 9 endings year. So 9 in numerology is about endings. Now, I did say that I was going to look this up, and I'm actually after forgetting all of it, but there's something about adding up all of the dates. I'll put this in a post later actually, because it comes out this year as a 9-year in so many ways, and 9s are about culminations endings. So, what you have been doing in the past 9 years, the attention you've given to it could come to a lot of, fruition. You could start to see results now from the efforts that you've put in the past 9 years. Um, and in this year, the 5 in that 2025 is like halfway between now this, we're halfway between the 2020 and 2030. And that can be, fives can be unexpected shifts. It can also bring up kind of anger and aggression that we're going to have to watch for. We're going to have to watch where our energy goes. We're really going to have to be very thoughtful about what we're viewing, what we're observing, what we're allowing our energy to go on. Are you scrolling through social media and looking at all of the negative and feeling yourself getting riled up and angry about things that you actually have very little impact on, especially if you're angry, rather than tuning into your highest self, tuning into where you are now, sending out love to what you might see as being a difficult situation, putting energy of love into that, but mostly putting the energy of love and focus into your life, into your dreams, into your pathway forward this year. How are you going to make an impact on yourself, on the people around you, and on the wider world? And by stepping up into a new version of you this year, by really embodying what you're here to do, you're going to have so much more of an impact on the world than you can possibly have, looking at things or getting, finding yourself getting upset or getting triggered or getting shocked or getting fear, anger, and sort of, frustration. All of those lower vibrations are actually showing you more of the same. And we cannot make a change by giving that energy onto it. We have to, in order to make a change in the world, we have to raise that energy to the opposite, to empowerment, to love, to enlightenment, to wisdom, to whatever it is you're here to do. So if you're a leader, if you are, a coach, if you are an artist, if you're a writer, if you are, in a service-based industry in some way, by you living your light and doing what you do best, you're having a much more impact on the people around you, and that ripples out. Everything ripples out on the world. So this year, really watch your energy. Watch when you are moving down that sort of negative spiral, and make sure you bring yourself up by bringing yourself back again to love, bringing yourself back to your heart, bringing yourself back to, I see that this is happening. Because whatever is happening in your life right now is because of belief that you have in some way. So when you see something happening around you and you notice that, if you notice the opposite and believe the opposite, you will start to make a difference. Now, I'm going to be talking much more about that as this year goes on, because I've got such awesome ideas coming forward. Anyway, I'm just going to, let me see, I don't know if there are anybody else hopping on here, but I'm just going to keep on going. So the second thing, and moving on from that what we need to do is to be crystal clear about what we want, crystal clear about where you're going. And when you're manifesting something, when you want to make a change, you've got to know, first of all, what you want. It's the very first step, is what you want. And for instance, whatever you're manifesting and looking to bring in this year, between this year now and a year to come, for instance, if you wanted to make a higher income, you want to bring in so much. If you know what you want to put that towards, if you know what you want to spend that on, if you know how you want to upgrade your life, the life of your family, people around you, the community, giving back, whatever it is, if you start from there, knowing what you want to do with that new energy or that new manifested gift. If you know that part, you've got much more impact to make this happen. So being crystal clear and seeing that future, seeing yourself as that next version of yourself, and knowing what you're doing. Now, some of you, and I can see some of you who are watching who have been in various programs of mine, will know, I have this program called Quantum Jumping, and I have another one, Future Visualizing. Any of those will work for you right now doing this. I would highly recommend that you do that. And I will be talking and putting out links for those, but I am creating something different with all of my stuff, which I want to maybe launch sometime around the Aries new moon if it's ready. But anyway, just watch that space. But for now, just get clear on what it is that you want. I'm going to do a little reading, but the other thing is, and I'm just going to, I got that link, I'm just going to post it here again. Oh, there's lots of people on here that I didn't see. How lovely. So, oh, look at this. I've got a picture of somebody on my, so on my new opt-in, there's a lovely picture of Kerry Leather, who actually gave me a lovely testimonial for that. Right, okay, lovely to see you all, and I'll call out names afterwards because I'm just going to get in now to look at the oracle cards, see what we have, see what the cards are going to say moving forward. So I've got tarot here, which I'm going to just asking the cards here now for, I'm going to do this Kachina knife spread, 7 cards, past, present, about where we are now, looking at what it might look like now, but the first card is where we actually are now, and then in the middle is sort of a hidden influence or the heart of the matter. We're going to look at near future, and then a couple of cards for advice moving forward, and if we need any more I'll pull some more, but and then I'm going to pull some of these goddess love cards, which I absolutely adore and have been really helping me to focus and stay where I want to be, which is moving forward. Okay, so I'm going to just divide these into 3. Take the middle pack and let's see where we are. Oh wow, 2 starting out now. We've got 2 major arcana, faith, which is actually referring to us and where we are. Oh, another major arcana. This is great. Okay, and these are lovely. So this card, I'll post the image for the display afterwards, if you can see this properly. It's the 5 of Swords, and this card represents the past, where we've come from. So it's been that kind of crazy energy of all over the place, thoughts, words, ideas. Swords are thoughts and words, and that is what I mentioned. If we go following things or looking at things and scrolling at things that are fear-based or anger-based or any of those things, it's very easy to get seduced by that. It's very easy to get sidetracked by that. But what is it doing? What is it helping you to do? So this is in the past. It's basically telling you, leave that behind. Leave behind any of the old thoughts, any of the old beliefs that have got you to where you are, that maybe isn't exactly where you want to be. And for every level, every move that we take, we need to go and reevaluate the beliefs that we have. Okay, this is where I changed this last year, this is what it got me, there's some great things about this, but actually I'm not quite happy with here, so how do I change that? Well, you always look at where you're coming from, what your beliefs are now, because to find your beliefs, basically, what's turning up in your life that you don't want. You've a belief that's bringing this. And if it's something that's repetitive and it's the same and it's been happening again and again, and it's, this always happens to me sort of scenario, that's what we need to change. So the cards representing where we are now, and this represents us. I love this card. This is the Emperor. So the Emperor is number 4 card in the pack, and the Emperor is somebody who's strong, who's in charge, who's determined. So be this, embody this. Maybe this is how you feel right now, the Emperor of your own life. It might also signify somebody that you're thinking of outside of you. So this will be different for everybody. The Emperor is like a really good controller. It's like somebody who knows what to do, has your back. It could be God. It could be somebody that you look up to. It could be, it's that energy of kind of looking out for others and looking out for yourself. So the Emperor is strong, he's solid, he's got the world in his hands, he's abundant, he is, he's driven with integrity, he's strong, and he's strong, and he has everything that he wants, and he leads very carefully. So if you're a leader yourself, and we all lead something, whatever that is, whether it is, in your home or in your community, something, but being the leader now with integrity, stepping into your own power, your own highest version of yourself. This is like, our highest self. And then the other side of this, we've got the Strength card. I love this card. This is probably one of my favorites because it's a Leo card as well, and I have Leo rising and I have a Leo sun. So it's kind of like the side of us that, be sovereign, be in your sovereignty. You were created divinely, to do your thing, to be purposeful, to live your life with certainty, to bring all of the things that you are good at, all of the things, whether they're personal things or artistic things, or whether you're a writer or a baker or an artist or a leader, or whatever it is that you do, we all create something. But this is recognizing that divinity and knowing you're here to do something big and having the strength to do it. When you know what you want and what you're here to do, stepping out of your comfort zone and actually doing that thing. I think the light is shining on this a little bit too much, but anyway, you can see what that card is like. And then in the center, now this is the hidden influence. So in the center, we've got the 4 of Cups. And I feel that this is the kind of underlying thing that's happening, that I see happening a lot. It's that, your emotions bring, where you put your attention, that is taking your emotions down. Cups are about our emotions. And here we see, that the universe is handing a really nice cup, but this chap is lamenting over what's not good enough. When we look at and put our attention on even the tiniest thing to raise ourselves up, even putting your focus onto something that's beautiful, onto something you've created, onto the people around you, onto just giving thanks and gratitude. When you put your attention to higher value things, higher emotions, you'll notice more. It'll bring you out of that sort of slump. So I feel that this, between those 2 cards, which was the Emperor and the Strength card, that this is kind of, watch for that. Watch for, believing that you can do something and then talking yourself out of it, maybe, or believing that you want X, Y, and Z, but bringing yourself down. You'll never be able to do that. How could you do that? All of those old voices, they're old beliefs. They may not even be your beliefs. They're something that you've picked up from the past. So that's the hidden influence we need to watch for. Now, in the near future, so this is the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles moves slowly and steadily in the direction of his dreams. So Pentacles are about our wealth, our physicality, our health, our structures, our home, our environment, anything, you know, that's sort of solid that we want to manifest, basically. Physicality. And the Knight moves slowly and steadily. So this is like daily routines, tiny things that you can do. You know, I'm doing this, which I started on the 1st of January, and it's kind of a ritual, sort of 40-day kind of keep your energy up. And I feel like it's switched me back on. But it's tiny little things every day, but they become accumulative. And you can just start to see that you can sort of restart your own self. So this is what I'm saying: move forward, take tiny little action steps daily action steps. And actually that link that I put into the bio there, into the chat, if you're on my email list, you should have got an email yesterday with this 4-part video series, which I think is awesome. Okay, but if you haven't got it, click the link and you should get one, because if you have been quiet on my list, things tend to bounce and, you know, get put into spam and stuff. Okay, so these 2 cards next now are going to be they're basically advice on moving forward. So we've got the Temperance card. So there's kind of an angelic or a higher being. It might be sort of galactical. It could be, and this is another major arcana along with the Emperor and the Strength card. So major arcana are kind of like, you know, they're destiny cards. So there's and this is right underneath, in fact, this underneath the Emperor. So the destiny is like, take your time. There's enough. There is enough for everything to go around. This is abundance and it's flow, and again, it's got that sense of, you know, just be in flow. Be slow and steady steps. On the other side of this one is this: slow and steady steps will get you there. But there's also sort of a beautiful protection energy. There's something bigger happening that we may not even know about, that has a lighter, a better image. I really feel and it's only in this last week, but I feel like there's a surge of positivity after coming into the air. We did have a big storm, and I felt like that storm blew away something negative. I felt that storm was not nice at the time, but there's a beautiful lightness in the energy since then. On the other side of this card, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. And I think that this is moving forward. This is abundant. This is having more than you could possibly want. This is not keeping yourself small. It's not when you're asking for what you want to create this year, keeping yourself small and sort of saying, well, I can't ask, but that's too much. And, you know, how could I have that because this person doesn't? Well, actually, you're designed to be rich, you're designed to be abundant, you're designed to have your needs met. So this is kind of, expect what you want, know what you want to put that towards. So if you wanted to make X amount of income this year, or you wanted to grow your income, or you wanted to start something big, what would you put that? What would you spend that on? How would you use that? And this, you know, this card also, she loves nature. She's very much in tune with nature. She works with the cycles of nature, the stars, the earth, the, you know, the animals. It's sort of a love for our earth and nature. And it's Nine of Pentacles, which is wealth and abundance. But also health, abundance of health, abundance of what you want to manifest. I think this is just telling you don't keep yourself small and take little steady steps. So that is the first reading, and I'm going to read. What are we doing for time? Nearly about half an hour. I find it very hard to do a live stream less than half an hour. I'm going to choose a couple of cards here. So let's just see, what card or two cards do we need to see right now? And I'll read if I don't know what they're about. I'm going to take this bunch and I'm going to read the top two cards. Ooh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh my goodness, very synchronistic actually, because this is something else I was going to talk about, but I won't today. So the first one is joy, just being in joy. How can you have more joy today? How can you do something that will light you up, that is fun, and that will just, you know, sort of like strike the match of energy and abundance in your life? How do you feel when you're outside in nature? I actually have started grounding in my bare feet now. I've done that one day when there was frost on the ground. It's cold. You step on it first, but if you stay in the same place, especially on, say, grass, and the grass was spiky, very quickly my feet melted the grass. But not only that, you can feel the warmth of the earth coming up to meet you. Very, very powerful. But what can you do outside in nature? Maybe, well, I have to say I don't go out in the rain to do that. I don't like the rain, but what makes you feel in connection with nature? We could just put on a raincoat and walk outside and, you know, hold a stick. When you're holding a stick, if you can't ground, if it's not a stick that has, if it's an actual stick, like a wooden stick that doesn't have a rubber end, then you're grounding as you're walking. It's what the Druids used to walk with before, you know, and they did this because they were grounding as they were walking. Or you could hug a tree or touch a tree, lean against a tree. But just being outside in nature will bring you joy. Connecting with nature will bring you joy. So that's one thing. And then the other thing, and I love this, I've been doing a bit of work on this, authenticity. Authenticity has been measured as the highest vibration, way, way higher than love and joy and abundance and all of those, and gratitude even. It's the highest highest frequency that you can be. Now, some people would miss this out on, oh yes, I can wear this, or I can be this kind of person and turn up and say this sort of thing. And are you being authentic, or is that your ego? You've got to be careful between your personality and your ego and your authenticity. Your authenticity is when you know you're speaking from the heart, when you are doing something that brings you joy, when you stop worrying about what others are going to talk about or say about you, and you just speak up. And it's quite often something that actually you want to say, but you need to say it with love and connection. It's basically when you're in touch with your highest self. What would your highest self allow you to speak? And I remember the very first time that this really clicked with me, that I was being authentic, and it was the very first time I did a live meditation in a live group, and I would have been terrified of opening my mouth and speaking. But actually, you know, this was like a spontaneous prayer that I felt, how am I going to do this? And I connected up with my highest self, and words just flowed. I had no idea of what I was saying, but it had an impact on people who were there. And I know that was my authenticity. And we're authentic in many, many ways, but you'll know it. You'll get a sense that you're connected to your highest self when you're speaking and you are in your authentic self. So being authentic and letting your truth be heard. And your truth is never shouty or harsh or hurting other people or, you know, offloading. Your truth is when you speak with love. And even if you have to give a difficult message, that you are imparting that message from your heart with love. And it'll always land in a better place. People hear it. And even if I believe that people hear authenticity without really recognizing, but people recognize truth has been spoken, or that it resonates on a cellular level with people when we're being authentic. So there you go. If you've got any questions, I'm just going to pop along here. I'm just going to write kiss kiss or something so that I can see the comments and more again. Anyway, Margaret Tallet, lovely to see you. Jill Shaw, Jennifer Calnan, I owe you an email. Sue Wright, Mairead, how are you? Rianne, lovely to see you. Susanna, Pam, Mary DC, gorgeous. Hello, Paula Goldstraw, JJ, and Janine. Thank you for joining me. And, you know, if you haven't already gotten the, I put this link and there is a picture of Kerry leather in it, not what I'm doing for free. So that's something I obviously need to fix on my end. But it's that link that I put in the chat, and it's for my new freebie, which is a 4-day video series. Tiny videos. The first day is just over 2 minutes. The second day is under 3. I think they gradually 4 minutes or so. The third day, there's a little exercise to do with them, but if you keep, that's this, okay? It's the steady, slow baby steps. If you do those things, you will see the result. And on the 4th day, there's a brilliant thing. There's a meditation on actually how to get clear on that future self. It's not quite a future projection, but it is seeing yourself and looking at that and getting excited about the future version of you. Love you all. Talk to you soon. Lots of love. Bye.